For years, we measured a math student's success by one thing:
speed. How fast can you calculate the answer? How quickly can you run the formula, solve for X and move on? Then artificial intelligence walked into the room, and now a tool sitting in your student's pocket can solve in 3 seconds what used to take us 3 weeks to teach. So let me ask the uncomfortable question out loud, the one I know some of you are quietly wondering: does this mean math teachers are becoming obsolete? My answer is going to surprise some people. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why I believe math educators and financial literacy experts are more essential in the AI era than we have ever been in history. Let's get into it. Welcome back to Roxy EZ Math and Money. I'm Roxanna. If you're new here, this is the channel where we connect 3 things that the world keeps trying to separate: mathematics, money, and the kind of thinking that actually changes a life. Today's conversation matters whether you stand at the front of a classroom, whether you coach people on their finances, or whether you're a professional in your 40s, 50s, or beyond, watching this technology reshape your field and wondering where you fit. Here's the thesis of this entire video, and I want you to write it down. Absolutely not. AI is not replacing the math teacher. It is changing what mathematical thinking looks like. The calculation was never the point. The calculation was only ever the doorway to something much bigger: judgment, reasoning, interpretation, and wisdom. And that bigger thing? That is exactly what no machine can hand your students for free. So let's walk through what's actually changing, what it means for your role, and how you can lead instead of being left behind. Let's be honest about how most of us were trained, and how most of us taught. For decades, math education ran on a single hidden assumption: that the scarce, valuable skill was computation, the ability to crunch the numbers. We rewarded the fast. We timed the drills. We celebrated the student who reached the answer first. And in a world where computation was genuinely hard to come by, that made sense. But think about what's happened. The calculator made arithmetic cheap. The spreadsheet made repetitive calculation cheap. And now artificial intelligence has made something we thought was untouchable: multi-step problem solving, word problems, even proofs and explanations, astonishingly cheap. When a skill becomes abundant, its market value drops. That's not opinion. That's economics. That's the same supply and demand principle I teach in financial literacy. So if the only thing we offer students is the ability to do what a free tool now does instantly, then yes, that version of math teaching is in real trouble. But here's what I need you to hear. Computation was never the treasure. It was the training ground. We didn't teach long division because the world desperately needed more humans doing long division by hand. We taught it to build a mind that understands structure, pattern, logic, and consequence. The drill was scaffolding, and AI just removed some of the scaffolding, which finally reveals the building we were supposed to be constructing all along: the thinker. So if computation is no longer the scarce skill, what is? Let me give it to you in one line, and then we'll unpack it. The classroom is shifting from "can you calculate" to "can you think?" And I want to be precise here, because this is where most people get it wrong. AI did not eliminate the need for mathematical understanding. It raised it. Here's why. An AI model will give your student an answer with total confidence, and it will sometimes be completely, dangerously wrong. It will misread the problem. It will invent a step. It will apply the wrong formula with a perfectly straight face. Now picture a student who was only ever trained to get an answer fast. That student has no defense. They cannot tell a correct answer from a confident lie, because they were never taught to evaluate, only to produce. But the student you train to think? That student looks at the AI's output and says, "Wait, that doesn't make sense. Let me check the assumptions." Do you see it? The very thing AI is bad at, judgment, context, sense-making, knowing when something is off, is the exact thing a great math educator has always developed. We are not competing with the machine. We are building the human who supervises the machine. And that, my friends, is a promotion, not a layoff. So let's get practical. If the old goal was speed of calculation, what are we actually developing now? What are the human skills that have become more valuable, not less, in a world filled with artificial intelligence? I want to give you 5 competencies. Think of these as the new core curriculum of mathematical thinking in the AI era. These aren't just for math class. Whether you teach algebra or you teach people how to manage a budget, whether you're a student or a professional, these 5 carry over completely. They are the foundation of modern problem solving. Number 1. Critical thinking. This is our first line of defense. Can the student step back and ask whether the whole approach even makes sense, not just whether the steps were followed? In the classroom, imagine a word problem where an AI calculates that you need 500 gallons of paint for a single bedroom. The calculation might be technically correct based on a flawed premise, but critical thinking is what allows a student to say, wait, that's a ridiculous amount of paint. Let's re-examine the inputs. It's the immune system against confident wrong answers. In our financial lives, this is the skill that protects us from too good to be true investment schemes. Instead of just calculating the amazing potential returns, a critical thinker asks, what's the underlying business model? Where does this yield come from? What are the unstated risks? It's the essential pause before commitment. Number 2. Better questions. In the old world, we rewarded answers. In the new world, the person who asks the sharper question controls the outcome. An AI is only as useful as the question you bring to it. Garbage question in, garbage answer out, delivered beautifully. In a classroom, instead of asking an AI, what's the formula for a cylinder's volume? A student with this skill asks, model the financial impact of increasing the radius of a cylindrical shipping container by 15% versus increasing its height by 15%. Assume shipping costs are based on volume. See the difference? One is a recall task, the other is a strategic inquiry. In your financial life, asking an AI, should I buy a house, is useless. A better question is, compare the net worth projection over 15 years between buying a specific house at this price with this mortgage versus renting a comparable home and investing the down payment and monthly cost difference in a diversified index fund. That is a question that leads to a decision, not just a vague response. Number 3. Data interpretation. This is where my heart truly lives, because it sits right at the crossing of mathematics and money. An AI can generate a flawless chart in a nanosecond, but a student can be handed that perfect chart and still draw the wrong conclusion from it. For example, a graph might show a strong correlation between students who play chess and those with high math scores. A poor interpretation is, chess makes you good at math. A strong interpretation is, these two things are correlated, but we can't assume causation. There could be a third factor, like a shared interest in logical systems. In personal finance, this is everything. You might see a chart showing a mutual fund's performance rocketing up in the last year. Without proper interpretation, you might pour your money in, but a skilled interpreter looks deeper. Is the y-axis truncated to exaggerate gains? Was the performance due to one lucky stock pick? What's the 10-year average return? Interpreting data, understanding what the numbers are actually saying and what they're not saying, is the difference between an informed decision and an expensive mistake. Number 4. Error detection. This is the brand new skill of our era. We now have to explicitly teach students to audit the machine, to hold its work up to the light and look for the subtle flaw. In a classroom setting, this could mean giving students a spreadsheet generated by an AI to calculate a class budget for a field trip. The AI might have correctly summed most columns, but mistakenly used a cell from the wrong row in one critical formula. The student's job isn't to do the addition, but to find the AI's single hidden error. In our financial lives, this is paramount. An AI might generate a retirement plan for you, but it might have used a default inflation rate of 2%, when current trends suggest 4% is more realistic. Detecting that single flawed assumption can be the difference between a secure retirement and a shortfall of hundreds of thousands of dollars. The confident wrongness of AI is exactly why human verification just became one of the most valuable abilities on Earth. And number 5, explaining your reasoning. A machine can produce an answer. It cannot truly own it. It can't stand in front of a board of directors or a teacher or a spouse and build trust. When we require a student to explain why, to defend the path, not just present the destination, we are building something AI does not possess. Understanding. In class, after an AI helps a student solve a complex physics problem, the real assessment is asking them to teach the solution to a classmate. Can they articulate the principles involved, the trade-offs made, the reason a certain strategy was chosen? In our money lives, this is about being able to explain your financial plan to your partner. It's not enough to say, the AI says we should invest this way. You need to be able to say, I chose this strategy because it aligns with our risk tolerance, our time horizon for retirement, and here's the evidence I used to come to that conclusion. This is the skill of ownership and persuasion. So let's recap. Critical thinking, better questions, data interpretation, error detection, and explained reasoning. Notice something fundamental about that list. Not one of those 5 is a calculation. Not one is about the speed of arithmetic. Every single one is about judgment. They are all uniquely, powerfully human skills. AI can calculate the answer. A great teacher and a great learner develops the thinker behind the answer. Now I want to speak directly to my financial literacy family and to every professional over 40 watching this. Because this is not only a classroom conversation. This is a boardroom conversation, a kitchen table conversation, a conversation about the rest of your life. We've been talking about the abstract world of math education, but now we're bringing it home, to the place where the numbers on a page become the foundation of your security and your dreams. Everything I just described about math, it is exactly the crisis happening with money in the AI era. The stakes are just infinitely higher. It's no longer about a failing grade on a test, it's about a failing retirement plan. The same seductive promise of a quick, easy answer is now being made about your most critical financial decisions. You can now ask an AI to build you a budget, model your retirement, or explain compound interest in seconds. You can ask it to create a 7-year plan to become debt-free, or to suggest an investment portfolio for a moderate-risk investor. The tools are astonishingly powerful, and they are getting better every single day. They offer a shortcut that feels like a superpower. But here is the critical truth. And just like in the classroom, if you don't have the judgment to evaluate what it gives you, you are not empowered. You are exposed. Exposed to flawed assumptions, to hidden risks, and to catastrophic errors that are delivered with the same digital confidence as perfect advice. Let's make this real. The person who only wanted a fast answer will take a confident, wrong financial projection and build their future on it. Imagine asking an AI, "Can I retire at 62?" The AI runs the numbers and presents a beautiful chart showing you can. It feels like a green light. So you start making plans. You mentally check out of your career. You tell your family. But the person who learned to think, to question the assumptions, to interpret the numbers, to catch the error, that person uses AI as a powerful assistant instead of a blind guide. They ask, "What assumptions did you make? What inflation rate did you use? What about a market downturn?" They see the AI used a rosy 3% inflation rate, when historical averages suggest 4.5% might be more prudent. They ask it to model a market correction. Suddenly, the beautiful chart changes. Retirement at 62 is no longer feasible. The new projection says 68. That 6-year difference is everything. It's the difference between security and panic. The first person was a victim of the answer. The second person was the master of the tool. This is why I keep saying it on this channel. Financial literacy is not about memorizing formulas either. It was never about knowing the formula for compound interest by heart. It is about developing the judgment to make wise decisions with your numbers, your income, your savings, your legacy. It's about understanding what those numbers in the context of your life. It's the wisdom to know which questions to ask, the courage to challenge a convenient answer, and the discipline to verify the information that will shape your future. So whether you are teaching a teenager to solve for X, or teaching a 55-year-old professional to take control of their retirement, whether you're a student trying to pass algebra or an executive trying to understand a corporate balance sheet, the mission is the same. We are not in the business of producing answers. Calculators and AI can do that. They are answer machines. We are in the business of producing thinkers, confident, informed, responsible decision makers. People who can wield these incredible new tools with wisdom and discernment, using them to build better lives, not to have their lives dictated by a faulty algorithm. And that mission has never mattered more than it does right now. So let me bring us home. We've journeyed through the old paradigms of rote memorization. We've seen how AI can be both a powerful tool and a confidently incorrect trap. And we've laid out the 5 core competencies, from asking the right questions to validating information, that are no longer optional in this new world. We've seen how this applies not just in the classroom, but to the critical decisions we make about our money and our lives. The landscape has fundamentally changed. The question that remains is, how will we change with it? Because there are 2 paths forward from this moment. The first is the path of fear. The teachers who fear AI will spend their energy trying to compete with it, racing a machine in the one event the machine was built to win. They'll design ever more complex assignments to beat the AI, only to find the AI gets better. They'll spend hours policing for its use instead of cultivating human intellect. They will be fighting a defensive battle against the tide, and that's a race we will always lose. It's a path of exhaustion, frustration, and ultimately, obsolescence. But the teachers who embrace AI, the parents, the coaches, the leaders who see it not as a threat, but as a tool that liberates us for a higher purpose, they will not be replaced by it. They will be amplified by it. They will use AI to automate the tedious, freeing up precious time to do the irreplaceable human work, to mentor, to challenge, to inspire, to see the student who feels invisible. They will help shape the next generation of confident thinkers, informed decision makers, and responsible problem solvers. That is the work. That has always been the work. The technology just made it impossible to hide behind the calculation anymore. It stripped away the busy work and laid bare the true purpose of education. Not to create human calculators, but to cultivate human judgment. And I believe, with everything in me, that this is a calling, not just a job. It's a sacred trust. We are stewards of how an entire generation will learn to think in a world full of machines that sound certain whether or not they're correct. Our role is to arm them with skepticism, with curiosity, and with the courage to question an output, to demand evidence, and to form their own conclusions. This is the intellectual immune system we are tasked with building. That is purpose. That is legacy. That is the kind of work worth doing. It's the work that ensures our students don't just get the right answer on a test, but make the right decision for their future, for their family's finances, for their community. So here's what I want from you before you go. This conversation doesn't end when the video does. This is where it begins. First, tell me in the comments, how are you using AI to strengthen learning, not replace it? I want specifics. Are you using it to generate creative writing prompts? To create personalized practice problems? To help you as a professional draft emails more efficiently so you can spend more time with people? In your classroom, in your coaching, in your own life? I read these, and I want to feature the best answers in a future video, because we all learn when we share our strategies. Second, if this gave you a new way to see your role, share it with one educator or one professional who needs to hear it today. So many of our colleagues are feeling anxious and uncertain. Be the person who shares a resource that offers clarity and hope, not fear. And finally, if you're not subscribed yet, this is your home for math, money, and the thinking that changes a life. This is where we wrestle with the big questions and find practical answers. This isn't just a channel, it's a community of educators and lifelong learners committed to doing the real work. Subscribe and walk this journey with me. AI can calculate the answer. It can draft the report, analyze the data, and simulate the outcome. But the thinker behind that answer? The one who questions the premise, validates the source, and applies the result with wisdom and empathy? That's still our job. And it's the most important one we've got. I'm Roxanna. Thank you for thinking with me today. I'll see you in the next one.
AI can solve the problem in seconds. So are math teachers obsolete? Absolutely not. Here's what mathematical thinking actually looks like now. 000. The uncomfortable question. 1:30. Welcome 30. Why the old way is ending 6:30. What AI actually changed 9:30. The 5 new competencies 14:30. Why this matters for your money 17:30. The real calling. The cold open 001:30. The promotion, not a layoff line, and the 5 competencies each make a strong 30 to 60-second clip. AI, it's your education, it's your mathematics. EdTech, financial literacy, critical thinking, future of work, teachers, STEM, lifelong learning.